lightning inside me, son of a god. I'm like a titan that's rising, oh just you watch. I'm stepping into fate, there is no time to waste. I've got that lightning inside me, this is how legends are made. Up on the throttle, victory is mine. Show you the harder the battle, harder I fight. I've come too far to quit, step back, I'm going in. I'm cranking up on the throttle, this is how legends are made. Like iron from the fire, getting stronger, decisions are made.
Hey guys, welcome to Friday Night French Stretch 2026 edition, episode 1. We're going to take the pulse of the RC Nation around the country, including quarter scale, fifth scales, 10 scales, you name it. We are going to dive right into it. So let's get into it. Hope everybody had a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. On with me tonight, our co-chair from QSAC is Brian Howard. Welcome, Brian.
Well, how you doing, Mike?
We got a lot of things to discuss about tonight, and we're going to be in 2 segments. One will be talking about, of course, the quarter scale side of it, review the asphalt nationals down in Texas this past summer, along with the quarter scale nationals as well. We got video there. And then we dive right into the Outlaw business, and we'll have review photos and a video from our 2025 season. So, guys, if you got any questions, it's time to put them out there. We'll be transparent as best as we can. We want to welcome everybody on board. This is kind of not really season ending, but season beginning, kind of a mixture of both, just the way how it fell on Friday on January 2nd. So anyway, guys, let's say hello, say howdy. Let me know we're on. We got 11 people watching this. I think we've got 10 on Outlaw and 1 on Friday Night Front Stretch. So that's kind of nice to see right now. I'm starting off the new year. So Brian, kind of let everybody know what's going on with the QSAC and the quarter scale industry starting off the new year.
Nothing. Getting ready to ramp things up for both nationals as far as planning and for the asphalt and dirt side of things. Initial phases of that will basically start now, just because we've done minor stuff, just we've done it before, so there's not an over amount that needs to be pre-planned, because a lot of the stuff we've done before, so it's just a matter of locking it in. So with nationals, the paved side not being until September this year, we have a little bit more time, so it's not as big a rush. We can plan things out. And then August, of course, it's your place for dirt, so plenty of time this year as far as that goes, and hopefully we'll avoid all the rain and extra heat.
Well, I was going to ask you, why did we usually it's in June. Most of the nationals are in June, and then the dirt's in August. I know why I do it in August is to beat the heat. Hopefully, it's cooler.
It's still
at
90
night.
This year, over 90 out there.
Yeah, but it's cooler at night.
Yes, much better.
I can't really do it in the fall because of motels and Nebraska football and all this other stuff. So it gets kind of packed with hotel reservations and stuff. But explain to why you went with Ingalls in September.
So with I can't think of, since I've been doing nationals, one that has not had rain impact it somehow. So with 5 years worth, some more than others. So that was one of the driving factors, and it's basically was at the beginning of the year, essentially in the beginning of the seasons for most places, and before my time as co-chair, and even before I got involved in quarter scale, or maybe at the very beginning, it was looked at when they went to the 1 week series or 1 week format versus the however many race series they had, having it in the fall. Some people didn't want to do it at the time because of kids that were involved, I guess, or something like that, because of school. No matter what decision we make, it's going to affect somebody. You know what I mean? It's never going to be the 100% answer that just everybody's happy with. But based on rain, heat, making it an end of the year type race, where it's not a beginning of the year race. It's more like it's, a big finale of the season of, your race season. Because at that point, most places are winding down, going into like they're either charity races or big 500 laps or whatever they got going, end of the year type bigger races that some of these tracks do, or just end of point seasons for the majority of the country. And I know some are different, because of weather in different areas. So there's a variation there, but.
Well, tell us where Ingalls is at. Where's Ingalls located at? So everybody.
So it's not Indianapolis. I don't think it's considered part of it. I mean, it's the town of Ingalls, but it's
south, ain't it?
Basically east.
East.
You go, like for me, I take 65 north. Once you hit Indy, like you take 465, I believe it is up there,
Hmm.
the bypasses, and you just go east, and then you get off on. I want to say it's a half hour, 20 minutes, half hour outside of Indy, is where you'll end up being out in country a little bit.
Mhm.
Not as country as your place, but you're out in the country a little more.
Sure.
Um,
Give us some
nice
dates. What's the dates of the Ingles Asphalt
21 to
Nationals?
25
What's that?
September. 21 to 25 September, Monday
Okay.
through Friday.
And is the formats and stuff kind of be the same? Have they decided to change maybe formats up a little bit, or is this kind of the
Changing
same?
format. So basically, most people arrive on Saturday. If some
Mhm.
people come earlier, like Thursday or Friday with campers and all that, we'll ask them to let us know because we'll have to have somebody there to get them parked where we want them to go,
Mhm.
and to let the town know, of course, because it's in a city park. But most people arrive Saturday. No on track activities. You can do whatever you want in your pit area or around and talk and BS with people, but track's closed. Sunday is practice. Basically, might go controlled depending on how many people are out there at any given time. But Sunday is a uncontrolled practice day by the schedule.
Mhm.
Monday is 2 rounds of controlled practice, and then the second one's used as your seeding round for setting up the heat races Tuesday.
Hmm.
And then
Interesting.
the rest of the day, Monday's just open practice, and then Tuesday, Wednesday race. Thursday's thrown in as a weather day. Friday, just a main or just mains, and then awards and
Mhm.
stuff to follow.
Interesting. I had questions that come across about the 305 sprint car class. Last year, you
Okay.
guys implemented into the Texas Asphalt National for the first time.
Mhm.
And I thought we had a pretty good car count.
Yep.
Are you guys still planning to do the 305s
Yes.
in Ingles? Okay. And how many cars does it make a class?
Roughly, we need 5 to make
5.
it justifiable cost wise.
Okay. Well, that was really a one exciting division. On the first race of the week, most of us got disqualified.
Well, yeah, things happen.
And so, yeah, and it happened. I knew I was illegal because I grabbed the wrong wing when I was in the trailer. I brought 2 wings with me, not thinking that it was a dirt wing. And I told Todd sitting there as we're getting ready to tech because he was helping teching and everything. And I looked at my wing and I'm looking at other people's wing and I thought, shit, I'm illegal. I just knew it. You just know it.
Yep.
And I told Todd, I says, I'm not legal. I was.
You always catch yourself before anybody else usually.
Yep. So, well, that's interesting. So, what about our tech director? Do we have a new one? I know Pat.
We do not currently. So if anybody wants to volunteer to be considered for it, then let us know. Myself or Doug or anybody that's in like any one of the committee chairs, somebody that'll get back to us either way.
Okay.
But as of right now, we do not have a tech director, so we have a plan. We've had it happen before, so it's nothing new. We have people
step up and do it during the.
We have people that can do it, including myself and Todd Holloway. Randy Brown has done it before. I mean, racer wise, that are involved in QSAC. So it's not like we don't have people that can't do it.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a matter of if we have somebody to do it, great. If not, we have people that can fill the hole.
So, like when we do here the Dirt Nationals, we have pre-tech, making sure everybody knows where we're at. Is the Asphalt Nationals going to maybe start doing that, having pre-tech prior to the start racing, so everybody knows we're on the same?
I believe we are doing pre-tech this year.
Okay. So we don't get caught with our pants down like we did at Ingles or in Texas with the 305s, basically.
Yes. I will say personally, I mean, we're all grown folk. If we all know how to use a tape measure or things. So there's.
Well, my issue was I didn't know how to tech a sportsman car because they had tape measures and a bunch of gauges, but I had no clue. I mean, I don't want to tech myself because I don't know the standards. So.
Well, yeah. So you take, what I feel versus what should, so when you have the conversation with people like you or other people and it's like, I just don't know, or I need help or whatever, it's like, okay, well, we need to do it this way then.
Right. Because there's a lot of new. I mean, I was new. I mean, me and Don both never ran
Right.
a national race before.
And I'll be honest,
Um,
you don't think of you as being new to quarter scale, but
no.
but it's because you've raced dirt. It's not quarter. You know what I mean? So
Well, I raced asphalt back in the 90s over at Wally's track, Outlaw, the original Outlaw Raceway
right,
for 10 years. And then we raced in Lincoln for about 3 years on concrete parking lot with Hobbytown. But we never went through none of the national. I think the biggest national race that I went to back in the day, well, we went to McCheesy Park
yeah,
one year. I don't know, it was a special race. I don't know what was going on. Me and a guy to Grand Island went, and we drove up there. The biggest race that I went to was down in Texas, called in Buffalo, Texas, where WCM originally was born, basically. And they had basically a sprint nationals down there, and it was a week-long thing, and it was strictly quarter scale sprint cars. And I don't remember the car count, but I do remember qualifying in the I feature on Saturday, and there was 10 cars in each feature, and
So
there
you
was
were
two
down the
features
whole-
behind me.
right,
So there was a lot of cars.
right,
And that was the biggest race. They did do pre-tech prior. I remember that we had to go through tech and stuff. And of course, back then QSAC was in its infancy, so they had rules, but not really rules. They had basically WCM rules, at the
Right.
time, for their sprint cars. And then I don't remember. Of course, I think I moved up one feature and I was stopped because they only transferred two out of each division. And so I couldn't get past the I feature. I mean, I got past the I feature, went into the next feature, but I never qualified out of it. So basically, we just put our cars away and watched the racing, So I don't know if they did any teching outside,
right.
above and beyond that. So,
And with like you were saying, with the pre-tech, I mean, in Texas there was a lot of new people in general, just the national level race as
Sure.
far as, and we're expecting the same thing in Ingles, and it's just because some of the clubs are growing and they have people that want to travel and race, so
mhm.
it's not a bad thing. One that's people are the sport's growing in certain areas faster than others. Of course, it's just the way it is.
Sure.
But you got new people showing up to bigger races and they just don't know sometimes.
Right. Well, and like here, the Dirt Nationals, because we're intermixing rules, our sprint car wings are a little bigger than the
Right.
asphalt wings, and we get guys that are racing asphalt, then they show up for dirt. And we want to make sure, even though the rules are still the same as far as the car and the motor, the restrictor plates, the wings is what catches people. And then a lot of people run a lot of this way on their rear tires versus asphalt.
Right.
And so that's why we do. And I think Todd
All the and the
Holloway.
tread width on the dirt tires and
Yep.
where the way it's measured is completely different too.
Different. Yep. You're exactly right. And we had Dennis Stevens steps up to weigh the cars, and we had Todd Holloway steps up, and I think Randy Brown really stepped up on the dirt side of it the last couple of years and helped out Todd. So, and we had a lot of cars that, let's face it, their nose wing was too wide, their cell panels on the sprint car was too long, or there was always something that we had guys go back and then they came back and had it rechecked. And,
Right.
and I think that's a win-win situation there, just to make sure everybody is in line before you start racing, because you hate to go and tell somebody after you win a feature or whatever, say you're illegal, but from that point on, when you get done pre-checking, it's your car. You better keep it legal and not try to maneuver things around. So
Right.
the
And if you have, like with the sprints especially, people usually have multiple wings. You can pre-tech both wings and have a sticker on it ahead of time. So
Sure. Yeah. I do know that the quarter scale dirt nationals is August, I think 12th to the 15th. It's Wednesday through
sounds
Saturday.
correct. Yes.
Yeah, and Maneri Aerosport is our title sponsor. He jumped on board right away end of December, and so he's our title sponsor going in. We're still looking for class sponsors along with associated sponsors. So if anybody wants to step up, get hold of Brian Howard or myself or Todd Holloway, and we'll go from there. Also, in the dirt side of it, we're still going to have the Dirt Series Championship with the sprint cars. And I'm not sure. I haven't talked to Todd about if he's going to include the trucks, since the trucks are kind of new this year.
As far as I know, he wants to.
Right.
What I know that the Worlds and your track for sure are involved, and we're still working on locking in a third track.
There's a third track he's trying to work with.
Todd.
Yeah. So, but Todd will be involved in that, and but yeah. So that's the get go there. QSAC insurance still the same amount and everything.
Still the same. Basically, everybody's membership is now live for 2026, even if you got your card in 25 because you got it done early. And then Doreen will start sending them out now. She's got some, and past the holidays and all that stuff now. So,
and we had a banquet here back in October, and I approached the drivers. I was transparent about the QSAC insurance for the 10 scale guys, and I'm proud to say everybody wanted it.
That's good.
They all wanted to make sure I'm protected, and they said,
you as a track, and then offers them some protection. I mean,
it offers them some protection and stuff. So I was really happy
that you guys have because you have a lot of kids because of the 10 scale stuff too, and where you're at.
Yep. So I was pretty happy that the 10 scale guys adopted anything. Guys, if you any questions and answers, let's get on chat here and let's see what we got going on. Dennis Campbell says good evening. Thank you, Dennis, for showing up. Jace Edwards, you guys got a big race tomorrow at Jensen. So I'd like to hear from what's going on there. I believe this is that Shaggy?
It says Shaggy, yeah.
I wonder if he's from Nebraska or Surprise, Nebraska. There's Roy Scanlon, my buddy from Texas. He parked next to us during the asphalt race down there.
Down in Texas.
Thanks for checking in, Roy. K&S Hobbies. What's up, guys? Do you know anything about them?
I don't know exactly who it is, but it is.
Tuning in from Natchez, is that Washington?
Yep, Washington State. That's the new track up there.
Well, welcome on board. Welcome on board. I heard that you guys are starting to get a quarter scale track up there running.
It's been there for a while, I guess. They used to race there. Now they're back racing quarters. They're starting up again this year.
Well, I think Randy Order is your code or your director up in that area, right?
I believe so. For them, it would be Randy
Order. So get hold of Randy for any questions, or if you need anything from me, Lou, you let me know. And Shaggy says, that's him. So guys, if you got any questions, we've got a question answering session right now. We'll try to be as transparent as possible. So we're going into the year. We're going to introduce Todd Holloway. We're going to get into Todd coming up here in the next few months. Outside of our co-chair, Chuck Burnley, if he's around, because he's usually my co-host for here at Outlaw. But we're also going to introduce Todd Holloway as a co-chair for some of the quarter scale races and classes and tracks, to be trying to be part of QSAC using this format and so Todd Holloway is going to step on board. He knows a lot more people. So guys, if you got a track and you want to promote it here on Friday Night Front Stretch, and it would be basically a QSAC event outside of the Friday night specials we have prior to our racing on Saturday night. So Todd and me are going to work on maybe a new name or something besides Friday Night Front Stretch. It'll be under a different name, same format, different name. So we invite everybody or anybody who wants to be interviewed, talk about your track, talk about your scheduling, things like that. We're like to use this platform and format to move QSAC above and beyond. We're going to get into review of 2025 Asphalt Nationals, and I think Brian showed some pictures, so let's get in on that. There you are. That's 2025 review of not only Texas, but for the Dirt Nationals. Can you do you remember? I'm going to pick your brain real quick. Who the champions were down in the asphalt? I don't have any information on that. I do know that the 305 champion was out of Colorado Springs.
It was Chris Paul.
Chris Paul.
Limited was EJ.
EJ, yep.
Sportsman was... I don't remember.
Well, hopefully we'll have better paperwork.
Well, I mean, I can look it up. I don't have it.
Yeah.
Truck was Alex Livingston. I believe sprint was Todd.
Did Todd win the 360s, or I called it the 360? But
well, yes, I believe so. What else is there? ECM was that Todd or Gerald or
I don't know.
See, now you're getting me on this because I didn't come prepared for that. I could look it up. I just got to go to Facebook.
threw you a bone there, and you didn't bite very hard.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Eagles race was really a lot of fun.
It was Sportsman was geez Louise, Curtis Babbitt, and he also won Grand National.
Okay. I figured one of the Babbitts did, but I didn't know.
Yeah, I remember.
There's a whole group of Babbitts down here.
Yeah.
So, we'll do a little photograph and you can explain some of this. That is the track.
Yes.
We must have had a drone or something that you took.
That was from the Nationals in 21. That picture, because somebody had a drone down there at that time.
It looks a little drier.
It is. But as you can look in the infield, you'll see that wood that was same wood that was there this time.
Yep.
It did rain Monday. We got rained out.
Okay.
We still did the carb toss, all that fun stuff that we did, and had the banquet. But the on-track activities was canceled Monday, so everything moved to the right. So basically, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday was all-day racing.
Right.
I think we had some sprinkles here and there.
And they worked really hard. We had so much rain. I mean, it rained every night.
Oh, this year was horrible.
And they worked really hard to get the water out of the infield. They put up boards. They made sure the track was dry. There was some, what do you call them, seepers?
Yep, nothing you can do about that.
And
that's because the sun just starts blazing right after it rained and it's just pushing it right back out.
Oh, and then it got hot. I know we were over there. If you look to the left, right across from that big white motorhome, me and Don was parked there, and we were in a swamp. We just couldn't walk out of the trailer without getting 3 inches of water or mud.
Oh, trust me, I know where I was at too.
Yeah, and that's no fault of the track. That's Mother Nature.
Well, so, yes, there's nothing they can do to control that. I mean, there was no safe space there that was, unless you were in that one small area that was gravel.
On the concrete. Yeah, on the concrete.
All the rest of it was dirt and gravel, and there's just no way to avoid it.
Here's another photograph. That's from this year, ain't it? Yeah.
That is.
Yeah, that's our basically our parade of cars. Everybody lined up on the backstretch there. And you can see that the little portable fencing there, that was to keep cars out of the mud and water, because there was standing water in there, even though they had the pumps running. And you know what? I don't think it really affected me any. I mean,
the worst thing was like the where the yellow stripe is and the wood. There was it's concrete down there, or asphalt, but it's just lower, so water would pool up there. So if anybody dropped a tire down in the corner or anywhere coming in and out of the corner, they'd splash mud or water up sometimes. But that was it.
And then explain this one.
Oh, that was carb toss, I believe. Laurel won it this year.
Yep. Yeah, they did the carb toss, and basically it's just taking old carburetors and trying to get them in the box or as close to the box, and then you.
Did he use a box this year? I didn't make it over.
I think it was a box. Yeah.
I know we've used a empty 55-gallon drum last time down there.
Randy, what's her name? I can't even think. Laurel Jasper won it. Oh. Got a nice plaque from Holloway there. And then here's something that's interesting. Tire roll.
Always fun. basically
take a
take any
tire.
tire yours, and we start it, and everybody's got to roll it and see how far it goes. And
Yep,
I
and the
think,
winner gets a plaque. And of course, you can see
Roy, I
the
think
common
he was well
denominator. But
over half a track. He got as
yeah,
he rolled.
and you had to wear Hawaiian shirts.
Yes.
And unfortunately, I
Hey,
didn't
the
have a
Hawaiian
Hawaiian
shirts are just
shirt, so
I don't even
I've
know
got
how
one
that's.
now. I've got one now. Kim went to Hawaii and she brought me back a Hawaiian
Oh,
shirt.
you got authentic then.
I got authentic Hawaiian shirt. And then this one here is
Just all the sponsor banners.
yeah, the
class
backstretch there.
sponsors and everything. Yep.
Yeah, the backstretch there for all the banners and things like that. And you can see where they dug in the middle there, trying to keep the drain, trying
Yeah.
to, you know.
They ended up having to add trenches this time to get the water down
Yep.
away from the track
Yep.
faster.
So otherwise, I thought the asphalt for my first time. I thought I tell you what, I was wore out. I didn't even hardly race the last events on Saturday because I was just beat. Because when you're stomping around in the mud and carrying these cars, and it just
It wears on you. It's a long week.
and my age just wasn't ready to. I said, screw it. I didn't even race the 305 sprint car division because I was just. Me and Don was in his motorhome with the air conditioner running, and
See,
we were
that's the key. That's
we
the
were
key.
enjoying life in
wanna be
there.
in the shade. You don't want to be all the way in the air conditioning because then you don't want to leave.
And I tell you guys, and I told Don this before we went down. So if anybody is new going in the quarter scale for the Eagles, is if you don't do good, don't worry about it, but come back with knowledge.
Yeah.
And I came back with so much knowledge, things that people did to their cars that I never dreamed of doing mine. And I've been into the sport since 1986, and I'm still learning. So if anything, you don't get anything out of racing, get the knowledge so you can carry it over to the following years. So
There's plenty of people there that are more than willing to help
yeah,
anybody. So
yeah.
you'll learn
And
something.
of course, I spent a lot of money down there. I bought your tire warmers, and
So
which
you
it's
spent
kind of
money you didn't
weird in
have.
Texas. You want tire warmers, but you do, and
They make a difference.
so yeah, but and then there was another guy that had some 3D printed parts and for the cars to put your receiver in and your
Okay, yeah.
switches and stuff. And I bought that, and I bought one of those deals you put underneath the tire and then you trace around it for your wheel wells.
Oh, for marking out your bodies.
Yeah, I like that because mine was kind of guessing and.
Well, I take just the tire on the outside of the body to match it up, and I trace it.
Yeah,
It's good enough.
but anyways, that's pretty much. Let's see who's all here. Tyson Snyder, hello, what's up, man? Jeff Davis, he is a owner of Hackberry Raceway, just about 15 minutes north of me. Got a 10 scale track. There's Kevin Gunthy.
Yep.
G City's on board. Oh, okay. Details
Yep.
behind. So that'd be our third track.
That place is it's Monroe, Wisconsin, if I'm not
Monroe.
mistaken.
Yep.
Is north and not very much north, but north and west of Rockford, Illinois. So not far from Chesney Park.
There's Chris Stump. What's up, guys? Chris Kohler. I remember that name. I want to come to the NCAA race this year. I'll be bringing the Maximizer.
That's Washington State guy.
Okay. Yep.
That's
I remember,
they're
I remember the
new
name.
chassis.
Yep.
They're building the chassis out there.
They're building the new chassis now?
Yes. My understanding of what I've seen is, and Chris can correct me if I'm wrong, but they're building a chassis that accepts WCM parts.
Oh, cool. And then, of course, Todd Holloway. Happy New Year, fellas. So he's watching. So guys, yeah. So that's pretty much about anything. Anything else that before we get into the outlaw business, you got going on, Brian, with QSAC? Any new rules, updates? Anything that you like to share?
New rules. The new rule book will come out soon. I mean, there's the only new rule that was put in place that is any significance is the pull starters you can use, like the CY Chang or whatever they call it, the one ZDM cells that are in 2026.
So you can run the Chang Yang pull starter now?
Yes.
Okay.
So as of 2026, you're allowed to use that.
Okay.
None of, and then we removed like tire manufacturers, stuff that's not being made anymore. So
Sure. What
there,
about the carburation? Have they decided what they're going to do with the carburetors?
they said the RRC said no to that. So it is just the Walbro 194
Okay.
W1K. So
Okay.
your local level now you can run if they wanted, you can do that. But so
Yeah.
this, like it only really affects the national race. So
Sure.
local level, I mean, at club level, people deviate all the time for certain things, and the carburetor wouldn't be a big issue. I
Well,
mean,
and sometimes you need that local level to try different things, and then they can approach QSAC.
right.
Say, hey, we've been doing this all summer. We found it works really good for R&D and testing and things like that. So they can
And
bring it to
with the
QSAC.
carburetors, we had guys that were using them for, I mean, not all of last year, but enough, and testing it throughout the winter. But
Hmm.
it really, I mean, I don't think it would have made a difference. But down the road, we'll see. We can always relook at it.
Johnny Johnson, I think he is out of up there by Rockford, ain't he?
I believe he's in Florida now.
You're in Florida now? What's he doing all the way down there? Because he was. Well, I hope he's still staying in quarter scale.
Yeah, he is. I think work took him down there, I believe.
Oh, okay. Because I know him and his son race, I believe, together.
Yep, his son is still up there in Illinois. I don't know if they're in Illinois or southern
Oh,
Wisconsin
wow.
somewhere. But yeah, I believe Johnny moved down to Illinois for work.
Oh, wow. Okay. So anyway, guys, again, you got any questions? We're going to go into the Outlaw business here on the side of it, and hopefully Brian can share some of his thoughts too on some of this 10 scale stuff we got going out here. Going into the Outlaw business, and of course, questions and answers. I've been approached from a lot of people on doing different things, maybe some rule update. It's amazing the transition this track went from large scale into the 10 scale side of it. Wasn't my intention, but I think the honeymoon stage with the fifth scales at least kind of wore itself out over the last couple years, and that's okay, But I am totally pleased with the turnout that we're having with the 10 scale organization. Totally pleased. We on our last two races of the year, we had 97 cars. Now that's a lot of cars for 10 scales between Saturday and Sunday race. And I'm just tickled to death because I was getting to the point where I was kind of worried that, is this track going to be viable to stay here? Because we just wasn't getting any cars, and on the large scale outside of the national race. And so me and Kim had some serious discussion and last year. And then, of course, the 10 scale starts showing up, the Locy's, the Traxxas late model, the modified. Of course, the Mud Boss has always been around. So I'm just totally tickled that we're getting this, and I'm not getting a car count like a lot of the 10 scale electric tracks around the nation, like with Jensen and places like Grand Island, Jensen, Layton. But that's okay. As long as it pays the bills out here, I don't care if we got 20 cars, as long as everybody's having a good time. And that's the key. So I'm just
tickled. Guys have gone to that too with the adding 10 scale.
Yeah.
It just brings people in, it helps the track, and then it converts eventually sometimes.
Yeah, we've had some guys asking about the quarter scale side of it.
But it's just good for the tracks and clubs in general.
Yeah, I'm working with Dennis Stevens, trying to resurrect the fifth scale late model division. If we get enough late models, and I think there's some interest coming back to run some late models. We'll incorporate them in our 10 scale program next summer. I know me and Don will probably continue to race our quarter scale sprint cars out here, probably after the races are over with for the night, just to keep our setups before we go to the Worlds, before we go to Cheese City, obviously, and then of course the Dirt National. So we'll continue to do that. Our rule book for the 10 scales is still the same. We haven't changed anything. The Mud Boss Advanced and Beginner class is still under the Salvus Mud Boss rules. Make sure you're legal there. The tracks is late model and modifieds, box stock outside of the radio. You can put a different radio in, and you have to run a 2386 gear ratio. And I think it's the same thing on the Mud Boss. We're not trying to deviate from different gear ratios and things like that. And you can run a fan on your ESC. In the low C sprint car, it's still box stock with the box stock radio. However, you're allowed to run a fan on the motor. And I think a lot of it is because the track is so big that we don't want to overheat everything. And to be honest with you, I just don't see any, and I run back to back. I put a different body on my same car, and I never overheat anything. So, but, a lot of people are pretty critical of running these cars on this big of a track. And I'm going to tell you guys, I saw a lot of 3 wide, a lot of 4 wide. We had finishes across the start finish line that we had to look at the computer to see who won. And we run 10 in the feature. There's plenty of room. The only difference between a dedicated 10 scale track and of course this large scale track that we race on is you have to be a lot smoother, because there's so much wind, so much air, because you're pulling a lot of speed down the straightaways that you can't do a lot of steering input, back and forth. And so it's about setup, but you can't do much with springs. So, you got your ride heights, you got your shot collars and oil and your shocks and diffs and stuff. But it is so competitive. Anybody on a given night can win a race with a stock setup. And I think that's what makes this type of racing here at Outlaw so interesting, is because you can take $300-$400 and get into a full ride and you're done for the year outside of good batteries.
And they put a good show on, like when we were out there for the Dirt Nationals, you had the 10 scale guys out there, and that's pretty cool to see. On that big a track, there's tons of room for them guys to race, and honestly, it's probably a little more forgiving with the bumping, and you got more room. You're not bumping as much.
Well, I'm going to tell you, you don't want to do any bumping because you're carrying so much speed down the straightaways that if you hit somebody wrong or they hit you wrong, these cars go flying. They're up in the air.
Our cars go flying. We did that plenty.
Yeah, I know. So, but yeah, it's I've seen them, run side by side. The big key is, and at least, when I'm racing out there, is I'm constantly looking for moisture. Yeah. I'm looking for that spot that I can come out of the corner a little bit hotter than the next guy below me or above me. And so you're out there searching, you got 40 laps or 30 lap features. And that doesn't seem like a lot, but on that little cars of that big a track, that's a long time up there.
Well, and you are under caution or reds. You're not counting laps. So
no, the scoring program is on. What we do is and last year we muddled through a lot of the figuring this out.
Right.
Because I'm used to running large scale. Right. We have a red or yellow.
Way of doing things.
We reline up in the backstretch and we go single file, go green. This year we're just stumbling along trying to make this work. And I think we found a good combination. But what we do is once you wreck, everybody stops where you're at, which is fantastic. These guys, there's no cheating. They don't try to gain an extra 5 feet, but they stop. Marshall runs out there, flips the car over where they're at, kind of spun out, get back off the track. I give them a rolling start, which is slow, so we don't want to stand on the throttle because all the cars will start spinning out.
Right.
And then go racing. And and you got cars that are fast just because the drivers are so smooth. And what's really neat about this is, and one thing I didn't see in large scale versus what I see in 10 scale is you see families out there. You see husbands, wives, sons, daughters. They're all racing together as a group, as a family. And that you just don't see that much in the large scale. Johnny Johnson and the dad and son, they race together, but, of course you got the Babbitts down there in Texas where they're all relatives somewhere, right? But you just don't see outside of, Randy Order and his Laurel and of course the uncle and stuff like that. So But it's just really neat to see the 10 scale program really expand out here, and a good group of guys. I actually had fun running this racetrack this year.
Good. Keeps you around longer too.
Yeah, when I had a banquet, we had a drivers meeting. Everybody voted for QSAC. They all agreed with the rules. I got a real nice Christmas present, me and Kim, from the Campbells this year. I want to thank the Campbells for that Christmas present. Got some nice Christmas cards from these drivers. It's crazy. It feels appreciated.
Right.
So, good time with these guys. So the rule books, our tech director is Zach Osborne, guys. So if you need anything, get hold of Zach Osborne. I think he's going to be up in Jensen tomorrow night. Like I said, Dennis Stevens is working on a 5th scale class to resurrect that. One of the things that came across to me was with Nick Bryan. He's one of our local racers out here with his son Brexton. He mentioned something about doing something on an FM radio station called the 93.7 The Ticket. And basically the ticket is all sports. And every now and then they'll do a session about racing out here, NASCAR, Outlaws, things like that. So, I think he knows somebody at the ticket or something. Of course, Bernie, I don't know if you're, or Brian, Bernie, that's his dad. I knew him from back the old days of racing out of Eagle, but so that's something that we could do. Maybe if Nick can set that up with a 93.7 ticket. We're also got an approach on a special race throughout the summer for the 10 scale guys. It'll be a trophy race, and we'll probably have the mid-season championship in July. So we're looking maybe doing that. We're also looking for class sponsors per class. So we got 5 classes. So if you guys are interested in jumping on board as a sponsor for the class, we can put your name on lifetime scoring and different things to promote your business or your operation. So we're looking for class sponsors. All the money per class will go to that particular class. And one of the things that, and I'm going to get out of the frame here, but I want to show you what I got. Oh, this bad boy. This is, I hope you guys can hear me. This is a short course modified. It's 10 scale, but it's a lot bigger than your typical 10 scale cars. As you can see, it's huge, but it's a short course truck. One of the things that came across last year was a group. I don't know if they do any short course racing around Hobbyplex or up in Jensen or Grand Island, but a couple guys had some late models, and they want to do. The conversation was bringing short course out to the track. They're a lot bigger versus your 10 scales, or kind of between the quarter and the 10 scale class. I'm going to use that particular car kind of playing around next year and testing and things like that, and see if there's any interest in doing a short course. Get it started this year and maybe go on with the future on that. The other thing too, guys, this year, because of the new Venmo rules, I'm going to start accepting Venmo for payment. A lot of guys used to use Venmo a lot, and then of course Venmo decide they want to tax the shit out of you on your income and use it as income. Well, the new tax rules have changed, so I can use Venmo and cash. So if you guys do any want to come out and don't want to carry cash with you, you can just Venmo the money, and that'll work with the quarter scale nationals too, Brian. So if you guys want to use Venmo, they can. One of the things that come across was, well, let's get in with the video real quick before we move on. This is a review from the this past season, so let's get on with that. So that's kind of a play-by-play. We started out in the wintertime with a bunch of snow.
And ended with
It
snow.
drifted in 1 and 2, and then we had hail, as you can see
Well,
on
that's
that
true. Yeah, I
track.
remember that.
That was all hail. It just beat the hell out of the track. We had big, huge hailstorms. But that's kind of the deal that we had all last year. We went month by month. So, but anyway, one of the things was asked was having an open class in one of the 10 scales, whether it's a modified or a late model. And basically, an open class is basically changing springs, not necessary gears or anything. Kind of make it a little bit more open. And I said, you know what? I'll bring it up Friday night front stretch. If you guys are interested, 3 makes a class. And so that's something that you guys want to stick around and maybe want to have an open class versus what we're doing stock class. The other thing is, and I think, Brian, you've got one of those, is from 12R Prints.
I do.
And how do you like that?
I love it.
You know, that was something that I approached. It's a local racer out here, Shannon Rink. Shannon or Sean, I don't know. Their father's son. Shannon, I think, is his name. I get those two confused. Even when I'm announcing, I get them confused. But anyway, I approached them about doing 3D printed for a shock stand because we don't have anything. 10 Scale's got them.
Yes.
And so he came out.
People have them that they've made, put it that way.
Yeah. And he came out and I gave him measurements on my shocks. And I told him I want something to put the O-rings in the bottom and things like that. Because a lot of times when I take my car apart to go through it, I want my shocks put, because we run different shock oils. Not necessarily the springs. Springs are easy to see. Shock oils, if you don't write it down, I forget. So I want to put them in a slot. So when I take the car, put the car back together, I can grab that shock, left front. Yep, that goes on the left front. And then some tool spots, you know.
I think they're big enough. The holes are for tools, and I think it'll hold oil too. But I'm not sure.
I don't know. I don't think it holds oil.
I don't think they're quite big enough for that, but
there's the side part is to hold the adapters because when he first built one, we built it off the DT shocks.
Okay.
Well, the DRXs are a little bit bigger round.
Right.
So he redesigned it. Now you have those adapters that you can put in.
I think the hole is a 24 mil hole. Then you get 20 and 18.
Yep.
20 and 18 like reducers, basically, depending on the shock.
Yep. And so we kind of went back and forth trying to find the optimum thing, and I think we finally found it. Now there's room for improvements if you guys want to purchase one from 12R Prints.
I think they're
get hold of them. But if you see something that maybe you want to add on, now remember, when you start adding on to that thing, it's going to cost more because of the amount of 3D printing it's going to take.
Right.
And
honestly don't. I mean, the one I have. It comes in 4 pieces. You got the main base, and then you got the 2 uprights on the top piece plus the spacers. But I mean, it comes apart easy. It goes together easy, so you can take it to the track if you really need to, or just to store it in a Ziploc bag. That way it keeps it all together. But it's definitely going to be helpful.
Well,
nice.
Especially if you're thrashing around, you're pulling your shocks off, and you lay your. A lot of times I don't care about the spring because I know where the springs go to.
Right. Once you rebuild the shock and put oil in it, it's like, well, which place did this go? Which oil is in this shock?
Exactly. Yeah.
And I'm like, well, crap. Now I got to take it apart and figure out what oil I got in it.
But he's easy to work with. He's, so if there's any other something, because he wants to get into the quarter scale market a little bit. So if there's anything you guys see in the QSAC community that maybe you want made, let me know, and I can get hold of him. We can talk about it and go from there. So let's look at some. Let's see. Johnny Johnson, Happy New Year. Mike Hitton, Happy New Year.
He's down in Texas.
Wasn't he the one that's recording the races?
Yes, he was.
Yep. Donnie Sullivan, he's a champion on dirt.
Yep, and hopefully you're doing well, Donnie, because I believe he just had his kidney transplant.
Kidney transplant. So I'm glad that you're on. Well. So you must be doing good. Henry Howard, that must be
Dad, my
That's your
dad.
dad?
Yeah, he's on Facebook now.
Is he? Really?
Yeah,
I have
that's very.
5 new
It's
ones in a box. It's been code Happy New Year.
talking about carbs.
Oh, 5 new ones in a box, carbs. Okay, cool. Might have to get hold of him.
GDM still has them.
Yeah. Johnny Johnson says I'm still running Tri-State and Nationals. Good for you. I will hope to see you up there in the Eagles. Tyson says, have you thought about running 10 scale trucks? No, not really at this point. You have to understand one of the criticisms that I had over the summer months was we get done too late. And it's a warrant criticism, but at the same time, we start at 7 and you want us done by 10 o'clock. So we have to be done in 3 hours. That's impossible. When you go to, and I get like Jensen or Grand Island where they have a lot more cars, but they don't get done. They start, 11 p.m. and don't get done to 6. So you're allowing them more time to race versus me where I'm allowed 3 hours. So by running an extra class outside of the short course modified that I talked about, or I just don't think so at this time.
It's not a true dirt class either.
No, a truck is a truck.
Right.
Not unless it's a NASCAR looking type stuff. Clean racing. Yep. When we're talking about how we're going 4 or 5 wide. Henry, your dad says you break the car when you hit stuff. Oh boy. Yeah. I know that. Nick Bryan.
You got the safer walls at your track though.
Yep. Nick Bryan. I think we talked, I don't know, Brian, if you're on, we were talking about the 93.7 ticket. If you're still on, can you shed some light on that? Shannon, that's who it is. Glad to work it out for you. He's the guy that built your 12R prints.
Yep.
Next up is the pinion box. Oh, for quarter scale, put your pinions in.
Yeah, I talked to him about one of those. So
cool.
He's coming up with some designs to store pinions in.
Cool. Okay. Well, I've got pinions because mine's all loose in a box somewhere. So that,
I just have a box with them thrown in there, but I have like 6 13s alone.
Well, Shannon, I also got a thing for you. How about make 3D headers for sprint cars?
Well, that'd be cool.
I've got actually a quarter scale sprint car headers that a guy built me many years ago, but it's out of aluminum tubing. It's out of your brake tubing, and he custom built it for me. And he wants to sell them, and they're pretty cool looking, right? Problem was he died. Something happened. He got killed. And here I'm with these headers. I'm going, what am I going to do with them? And so I talked to his wife, and she said, just keep them. I said, okay. So they're just a little bit heavier than I want because I'm trying to shed weight. And you put these on there, you're increasing weight. So, right. Shannon, if you're still on, maybe we'll talk about maybe quarter scale sprint car headers, 3D printed. And of course, there's different colors. Do you know this guy?
Yeah, that's my uncle.
That's your whole family's on the night. Next thing you know, you're going to be signing autographs.
Yeah, no, right?
Jeffrey can rip your butt on the racetrack.
My brother and I have been racing RC cars since a long time, so we've always gone at it when we race each other.
Nick Bryan put a Mud Boss body on the truck. Exactly. That's as long as it's a slash. Roy Scanlon was on. He said, what tires are the quarter scale guys running at the Nationals? And that's a good question because last year I called a couple guys to find out what tires do you recommend, like compounds, hosts. Mm-hmm. Can you shed some light going into Eagles next year to get us, at least get it started, especially for me and Don and maybe Roy there?
So like Roy running down in Texas, the tires I ran, WCM car, and even with the Visions that I have now, and most people are running 96 Z's on the right front, 405 is on the right rear, and then L20 is on the left side. Roy's talking Dirt Nationals. I just seen it pop up, but honestly, if you're running asphalt, if you have whatever tires
Oh,
you're
Dirt
running,
National. Okay. Well, I'm still asking a
whatever
question
track-
for myself, for me
well,
and
that's
Dawn.
fine. Now I did play around with some like double X on the right rear and right front of car and truck, and it does make a difference depending on the track, of course.
That double X, that's the firmness.
Yes, of the foam.
On the right rear, double X, huh?
Yeah, I had a right rear and a right front that were double X's on my sportsman car for the 500 lap race that we had
Really?
in October, and it was fine. It didn't take. I mean, once you got the initial heat in them, it was fine, and the tires never got hot. Now, they just don't get as hot because they're not gripping as hard.
How much stagger are you using up in Eagles?
3/4, half to an inch in the rear, and then half to 3/4 in the front at the most. Because it's a short track and they're paperclip corners.
Are they? What kind of gear ratio you're talking
You're going to
about?
come from wide and cut it. Yeah.
What kind of gear ratio you recommend starting out? Like a sprint car or a stock car?
For any red plate class, probably 1379, 1380. And then drop a tooth or two for a blue plate.
So
I mean,
like
we've had guys run 12s too if they want to really spin it.
1378, and if you go to a blue plate.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then play around with it from there.
Okay. Well, that's the key, at least for me and Dawn, because we have no clue. Now we're planning to go. Me and Dawn talked about driving up there some weekend for a special race.
Yeah.
Especially if you got a 2-day show or something where it makes our.
You got the tri-state race.
And then we don't care if we do good or bad. We just want to get up there and get track time. Let's see.
Oh, for dirt though, because Roy did ask about dirt.
Okay, I'm trying to get back here and.
Oh, sorry.
Well, it froze up. Okay, there we go. Running on dirt. Nick Bryan. I have some contacts there at the 93.7. Their show is seasonal, so we'll follow up on details as approach the start of this season. So that's something that we can promote, not only Outlaw but maybe the Quarter Scale Nationals locally here at the track. So thanks, Nick. We'll do some follow up on that. I could reach out to you Sunday. Kim Myers on. Hey, Kim. So the Dirt Nationals. I don't know because I don't run the Dirt Nationals. I've been running. Well, of course, I've been running checkerboard all the way around.
I think that's all they make now, checkerboard and the ribbed front ones.
Yeah, and I run anywhere from half to 1 inch stagger on the right rear. We run 4-inch tires on the right rear because of dirt. I don't know if 3 inches would work on dirt. What's your thoughts?
I was running 3-inch and it works.
Okay, so you can run 3-inch. Host.
In the world, some people ran 3-inch this year and it worked.
I think if I remember, I run a medium compound on the left side, extra firm on the right front, and firm on the right rear. I think. I don't know. I run whatever I got left in the box.
That'd be, yeah. And I've not been doing it long enough to ask.
Well, I've been running soft, and I just find that soft is just too soft sometimes.
Right. I would say medium to firm firm probably be fine.
Yeah, firm
dirt.
is fine. We run the inch. What is that? 1.5 inch, 1 3/4 on the front. We run the narrower tires on the front.
Yes.
3-inch on the left rear, 4-inch on the right rear. I'm trying to think what else I can share with you on that. Shock oils, softer. And you'll have to judge that with the track conditions. If you,
I think I was down most of like 30 weight range.
I started out on 40 and I vary back and forth depending. It all depends. This is the dirt track, whether you go to Worlds or whatever, but the World's a little more consistent because the track is a lot smoother. So you can run a little heavier shock oil. Here, this track is a dirt track. It will change. It will groove on you. It will do things. And so you have to react toward, if it's really bumpy, you have to go soft. You don't want to go
We
stiff.
can get some input from like Holloway and Stump and those guys that have been running dirt a lot
Yeah,
longer
yeah,
on
yeah.
tires and put it out there just because honestly, I don't know because I just got some from somebody that are 5 years old and they
Yeah,
work.
I know, but everything is written in my book, and I don't have my book with me right now. So, but we can
get
share that information as we go on. I just know I found a RC book. It's about this thick, and I've been reading on it, and I'm telling you what, whoever, and it's for RC cars, but it also deals with large scale stuff, and they're talking about pitch, yaw, roll. And I thought, and you start reading it, and you start thinking, I kind of understand now a little bit why the car would roll into the corner, pitch where it goes up and down, and the yaw and everything. It really starts to make sense because I'm not a setup guy. I've never have been. I usually talk to people. I think I can drive pretty decent, but
my patience level gets me during the setup process.
Yeah, and I write everything down in a book. That's the key. Whether asphalt racing or dirt is to write everything down, so you can go back.
Especially your base, so you know where to go back to and start if you have to.
And that's one thing they said in the book is notes, 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 so you can go back. Nick Bryan says, replying to Kim, good evening, Kim. Dave, 3 times. Do you know what he meant by that?
How many times he flipped? I don't remember what we were talking about.
And Dave is on. Get back on. Dave Perello. He's out of
McChesney Park.
McChesney. Yeah. Nick Bryan says, Mike, what is your thoughts on letting other types of cars run with the beginner and novice? As far as Mud Boss, I don't know. I guess we'll have to talk about it this spring. As far as what do you mean type of cars? Like a dedicated car that's built to run with the Mud Bosses or something? I don't know. We'll have to do some research on that. I can't give you an answer, to be honest with you. Kim says, Nick Bryan, hey, tell your mom and dad thank you for the cup.
Dave answered too.
Dave is 3 times firm on asphalt. Okay.
No, I've never ran anything that stiff.
Well, I think I ran I think down in Texas I ran an extra firm on the right front.
The majority of my tires are just extra firm, and I have got some over the time that are double X now, and they work. It just depends on your setup and the track, of course, and every track's different. But
hey, Kim, on that cup, it goes to the Campbells are the one that it's Nick Campbell, not Nick Bryan, that sent you the Christmas present. Yeah, because Nick just responded here. Dave Perello says all year long.
And it comes to setup. I mean,
right.
And how you drive.
Let's see. Anything else?
I'm still figuring out how to drive these things.
Yeah. We're going to have a work day coming up in probably May, maybe April. The track has showed signs of wear. It was built in 2011. It's 2026. The backboard where the banners hang on, it's all rotted out. I'm afraid that they're just going to get into a windstorm and break all apart. They're just rotted. So I need help to taking them down is not hard. Is trying to hold them up and screw them into the 4x4s. So
a good run.
So I mean, the skid loader would help because I'll balance it on the skid loader. We'll bring it up and have somebody on a ladder to screw them in, and then I'll have them pre-painted and everything. They're 4x8 sheets. There's 6 of them, I think. Also, there's some maintenance around the track that needs to be fixed. Things that came loose. The scoring shed needs a new roof. I'm going to need help on that. The podium where the wood sits, where we set our cars on, that's all rotted out. That needs to be replaced. And then on the north side of the scoring shed, I noticed that the 2x4s are rotting out on the left, on north of the scoring shed on top of the driver's stand. And I need to definitely get that fixed. I don't want somebody to lean on it and fall through, and then you're down on the ground. So we'll probably have a 2-day thing where we'll just spend time working on the track to get it. I want to paint the walls. I want to paint the stands need to be painted. There's just a lot of maintenance. I did have that one computer. I've got it in the shop so I can have a backup scoring computer. I've been kind of living on a wing and a prayer with one computer. Because I think even in you guys in the Nationals require 2 computers for a backup, one for scoring. If I remember the rule book, it says, you're make sure you have something to do.
I think most tracks have something as a backup.
Yeah, I don't. I'm living on a wing and a prayer. And so,
everything costs money. So, and I don't think there's anything in the rules or
the motherboard in this one, and it's going to cost me about $380 to get it fixed, but I need a backup.
Right.
It's like I've got a printer. I've got a backup printer. There's nothing frustrating.
That works.
Yeah, it's nothing frustrating when you're trying to print something and the printer quit working. So, it'll be a work day. If you guys got tools, got extra strength, skid loader would do most of the work when it comes to lifting the backboards up, because I can get in the skid loader and on a bucket and just balance it up, but I need somebody to up there and screw it into the 4x4s, and I'll have it painted before we put it up. So that's something. It's just a work day. It needs it done. The track's old, like me. So, Nick says, Mike, as in the beginning, we come across some that run modified late models and mud bus. Okay. We'll read more into it as we get into this. Kim Meyer, any help is appreciated. And then she responded, Nick Bryan, that'd be fun. So, otherwise, I think we'll have another Ironman series coming up in end of October for the 10 scale class. I don't think I have anything else, guys, that requires attention.
Good time as always, Mike.
What's that?
So good time as always. Always willing to be a co-host for you.
Well, I hope we get you back on throughout the summer months. Just shoot the bull if anything else. Shannon says no rain. Yeah, we've been. Yeah.
Well, this is an oddity year for weather, so I won't count this towards anything because it never rained or was this hot in the last 5 or 6 years.
Oh, I tell you what, it's
crazy.
It's been in the 60s here the last couple of days, and that's why I'm out in the shop working on that sprint car, getting time done on it so I can be ready to go in the spring.
30s and 40s right now, but next week's supposed to be 60s and rain again.
I do know we got our schedule out, guys, so look at our schedule as far as dates. I do know there's a lot of 10 scale tracks got their dirt schedules out. I think Grand Island has theirs. I'm not sure about Layton or some of the Aldale tracks. I haven't seen anything from Hackberry on his scheduling. But unfortunately with race dates, we're all kind of stuck, because we're going to unintentionally, we're going to fall on each other. So, that's just the way it's going to work out on that. So,
nothing you can do about it, unfortunately.
No, unfortunately you can't. You got free will going where you need to go. And Kim says it's freezing here now. Because you got a fan on all the time. That's why you're always freezing.
In shorts, probably.
Probably. Yeah. So, guys, anything else?
Get her some pineapple, Mike.
Pineapple? Yeah, she'll warm up on that. So anything else, guys? We'll probably do some more shows throughout the winter, but I just wanted to clarify a lot of the stuff that's been on the table with, especially in the 10 scale community. I don't see for changes of rules in any for the 10 scale guys outside what we have now. I know we talked about having a special trophy race probably July or so we'll schedule that on one of our local races. Again, we're looking for sponsors per class, so if you're interested in doing that, I'm going to bring out my short course modified if guys are interested in doing a short course modified / late model. I know there's some late models out there. They got late model bodies. I convert mine. I can convert mine over. I think Fast Lane has late model bodies for the short course, including bumpers. So the open class, keep that in mind. There were suggestions of having one of the classes of either the modified or late model open, where we change maybe more than anything springs, just to open it up a little bit. But again, here's the deal, guys, and I'm going to be flat out honest. I like where we're going with this, where it is stock, where it keeps it cheap. If you want to spend money, there's plenty of classes to go spend money on this way, but these cars are just as fast. They're competitive. And I hate to see it, because once you allow, and Brian, you probably have been there, once you allow an inch of movement in the rule book, a year later it's going to be a foot long.
Mm-hmm. Especially when you talk performance stuff.
And I get everybody wants to go fast. Everybody wants to find that handling, where if you take this one part I find on Amazon or one part I find on A-Main Hobbies, we can change that part to make it faster. And it's like I said, you take an inch, it's going to go a mile. And I do like the format that we have currently. We have now. I am open to an open class, but I don't know how far we want to take it. The tire, because here's what's nice about this, and including QSAC, Brian. When I show up the track, I know my car is the same as yours outside of the manufacturer. Right. Or the different tires or different springs or shock oil. But the motors are stock. Tires are pretty. I can go and buy the same tires Brian Howard's running on. But if I can't beat him, it's not because of tires, it's because of handling, how he adjusts his car.
Let's say the handling, of course, is the biggest thing.
Yeah. So, and that's what's nice about these 10 scales. Everybody's equal. And I think once you start to go beyond being equal, then you're going to get into frustration, and people are going to be upset because, well, he's got this and I don't have that. This is just my opinion. I've been in this sport for a long time, and I've seen it great, and then it just falls apart when you start adding on parts and different things. So I don't know what's your thought on that.
Like with us, I mean, it applies everywhere. I mean, keeping performance stuff on as equal of playing field across the board makes it much easier, one, for buying stuff. It'll keep costs down to an extent, because like in the electric world, you can have the battery or batteries that you charge at whatever amps and to get whatever you can out of them. And it makes a difference where, if I can afford it, but the next guy can't, now I'm going to beat him just because of that.
Well, pocketbook racing.
Right. And it's not what it's about. I mean, they have those classes, of course, and, you run what you want. And then you go to the Chili Bowl and you can watch stuff like that. Those guys are just running. Some of those guys run crazy stuff, and they're just super fast.
Yeah. What motor and tires you're running for 10 scale mods? Is that, I'm thinking you're saying the short course. It's got 13.5. And I don't remember what tires, whatever Hobbyplex had back in the days that I ran that short course on. So yeah, I don't know what else to tell you, Shaggy, because I really don't know what, you can run. The car that I have is it's an old AFX car. Now it's called Fildo, but it's an AFX car. I'd like to see what it does. This car is big. I think it'll look good on the track because it is big. So, and I know there's some guys that approach me. They have late models that want to know if they can run late models, and so I thought, well, I'm going to see if I can get this old girl to get. This thing's old. They don't even make the ESCs anymore on this one. It's old. It's old. Nick Campbell, Dennis Campbell says you're welcome. Tyson says, will the short course mod and the short course late models be stock? You know, I have to find a current rule book that we have right now. This is not what you call stock, my short course mod. It has adjustable rear arms where you can bring the tires in and out. I think it's a certain tire that you have to use. I think it's a 13.5 motor, brushless motor. And I think, if I remember right, uh, battery, I don't know what the milliamps in the battery is. I know there's a rule on that. So I'd have to do some more searching, but next year it will be more of a kind of playing around with it and see if there's any interest. Again, 3 makes a class. So if nobody shows up, it doesn't matter. But I like to keep it either the mods or late model. I'm going to convert this over to a late model body if we get a class. So we might end up going late models instead of modified. So I use the bandits. Yeah, I don't remember banditos. I have to look. I don't know. The car's sitting here. Let me look here real quick. These are gridirons. These are the gridirons, not the banditos. But again, next year you just, I guess, bring what you got, and then we can go with the rules later. Mine too old. TM5. Yep. 13.5 class was called stock. Okay, so that's what we're running. So. Alrighty, guys. I don't have anything else. Brian, thank you for coming on.
You're
Thanks,
welcome.
guys, for chiming in tonight on the special editions of Friday Night Front Stretch. Look forward to some changes going into next year as far as this hosting of this channel. We'll have Todd Holloway come on as our QSAC co-host. Again, guys, if you want to introduce your track, use this format, we're more than happy to. It's something that we're trying to experiment to get QSAC basically use this format or this platform to promote QSAC. And Todd Holloway will be part of it. I'm sure Brian Howard will join in. So if you got a particular track that you're having a special race, we can talk about your track all night long, as long as we do it in an hour. I think we're over it now, but
We're at like an hour and a half.
yeah, well, we had a lot to go through. So
Yeah.
Jeff Davis. We have a short course mod at Hackberry. It's an AFX. Yeah, that's what I got. I don't know. I think it'd be cool. They're big. I think I'm going to try mine out, play around. Tyson says, thanks. Thanks, Brian.
Thank you.
Guys, anything else before I sign off? Real quick. Any questions get your QSAC membership in before the first race of the year?
Get it
You
done
can go
before the
on
end.
QSAC.org. And you can join in. Just make sure if you're a family member, I think they get a discount, don't they? If they're a family
Yeah, they have
member.
the second and third family member thing.
Yeah. So make sure you don't forget that. So I know we got a lot of families that are joining. So guys, I appreciate your time. Brian, thank you for coming on.
You're welcome. Until next
Hopefully
time.
we'll see you in the future. And if you got anything coming down the line, news breaking, and you want to do it here on this format, you let me know. And we'll
Sure
get
will.
you on. So live from here at Outlaw Raceway Park, we are signing off.